you guys want to share some stuff with us. So go ahead. I'll help you out if you need it. So how do you start?
Great.
Okay. Well, just first of all, congratulations to you, Adam, and your family and Helen Maffini for pulling all this together. It's very impressive. So
Thank you.
We can see what a range of speakers you've had. So it's really, a very powerful, I think, opportunity for teachers and young people to hear from lots of different voices. And, we guessed you're going to have a lot of different practices, and probably quite a few would focus on breathing, which can be very helpful. It's not always the easiest place to start for young people. So we thought we'd offer something, more just to focus on the body, which is also a good foundation for breathing activities, but just to see if you want to try some of those, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, so we're really using the senses and the sense of the body to just ground ourselves in the present moment. That's the basic idea of it. And this first one I will show to you, and it's one that we got from our friends at the Mindfulness in Schools project. I know you've interviewed somebody from there, but I don't think they've done activities.
Yeah. No, they didn't do any activities, but I interviewed someone from there. Okay,
so I'll show you one that they've done, and we use it quite a bit. It's very simple, just when we want to introduce focusing attention in the body to people, especially to teenagers, actually. So for this, all you need free your hands, and we always say to a group of kids, you can do this. We invite you to try it. You don't have to do it. You can actually pretend to do it and be thinking about something else, and nobody will actually know it. It's an invitation to just explore it if you'd like to. But if you want to try it, then I'll offer you a few instructions to begin with, a bit of guidance. And just tune into whatever you're noticing, whatever happens for you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need your hands free. In a minute, I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, and then 1, 2, 3. On the 1, 2, 3, we're going to clap together 3 times.
Okay.
Quite hard, but don't hurt yourself. But so you can feel it, Okay. Yeah. And then I'll keep your hands in the air for a bit, and I'll just offer some guidance for the next part.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try this across the internet from Prague to the USA.
Yes.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just now keep your hands in the air for a moment and see, without looking at your hands, can you just tune in to that sense of the hands having clapped together? It's any kind of stinging sensations that you can get in that moment. And just answer for yourself internally, just noticing your own experience for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
So just tuning into both hands here at the moment. Any sense of stinging or tingling, throbbing or pulsing? You don't have to close your eyes, but if you want to, just to help you focus, you can, or lower your gaze. And just keep noticing. Perhaps the sensations from the clapping are just fading away, or perhaps are still quite strong. And just doing your best to put your attention in your hands, like as if you're feeling them from the inside. Not the idea of your hands, but how do they feel from the inside?
Yeah.
And then just let one hand go down to your lap or on the table, and keep one hand in the air for a moment longer. And then just refocusing on this one hand in the air with your mental focus, so no need to look at it. Just seeing how it feels now. Let's see if you notice if the stinging is fading away. Any other sensations, any fizzing or tingling, any sensations of heaviness or lightness, or dryness or humidity, or warmth or coolness, anything that you can notice at the moment. And if you can't feel it, don't worry about it, just doing your best to put your attention there. What can you feel from your hand? If you've never seen a human hand before, what shape would you feel that it is, just based on the information that your senses are giving you right now? Now maybe just putting both hands down for a moment, both hands on your lap, and just again tune in with both the hands. Just notice how they feel in this position now, maybe with the palms down and the backs of the hands. How are they feeling right now? And then just wriggling your fingers and just moving, stretching however you need to, and just kind of letting go of that, opening your eyes if they were closed. And now I can ask you, so when we would do that with a class, we would ask students at this point to talk to each other. What did you notice? And to be honest, if you spent the whole time thinking about what a silly thing to be doing, just that's what was happening for you, just whatever was your experience in that time. So what was it like for you doing that?
I definitely felt some tingliness in your hands, the sensation you get after you clapping a while. So
right.
I felt that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what about the shape of your hand when you were trying to feel it?
I felt it more down here, so kind of like a circle, kind of down
Yeah,
here.
so more like, not so clear on the fingers, more like the palm area more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great, thank you. And can you notice your hands even now, without the effect of the clap? Can you still put your attention, if you want to, into your hands in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of the training we do. I'm going to ask Amy to explain it a bit more as we're with you. So if that's okay.
Yeah. So, so we always like to say after this, like, so what are we actually doing, in that clap? Like, why bother doing that? What's it about? And Kevin was directing your attention to some of the sensing, right? Sensing into the hands. And so what we're doing there is cultivating a little bit of the sensing mode, because the human brain has two modes, has like a thinking mode and a sensing mode. And the thinking mode is one that is pretty obvious to us, right? It's the planning, strategizing, organizing. It's the thinking mode. It's really important. It's what gets us through the day. It's what got you here on time and us on time for this interview, right? Mm-hmm. So we need that. And lots of schooling is actually about cultivating that thinking mode, right? It's great. But we also, as human beings, have a sensing mode. And that really is just like the senses, like tuning into our, touch, sight, hearing. And when we cultivate the sensing mode, that helps to sometimes bring us out of thinking mode. And it's not that thinking is bad. We want to make sure that we are not giving that message. Of course, you need to think. But sometimes our thinking mind can like trip us up a little bit. I don't know about you, but like sometimes I can overthink, or like if I'm worrying about something, I can get caught up in it. Yeah. Or sometimes we use an example about with young people, also with adults though, like if you text somebody, for example, but they don't text you back, like, like that sometimes we can create these stories and we start to worry about things, right? Yeah. So, or worry about a test that's coming up, at school, or really concerned about it. Even a sports thing that we're going to do. So our thinking mind can be helpful, but can also be unhelpful sometimes. It, can be in the future worrying, or in the past concerned about something. But our body is this thing that's in the present moment. So when we're cultivating, tuning into the sensing mode, what we're doing is really trying to strengthen those neural networks. So we have these really strong neural networks and pathways for our thinking modes, because we get a lot of practice in thinking mode. Mm-hmm. But we don't get a lot of practice just in the way our world is in the sensing mode. So that's why sometimes using the body for mindfulness can be really helpful, because you're connecting back in with the senses. Mm-hmm. And even the breathing is connecting with senses, right? Sometimes you get directed to notice the feeling of the breath coming in and out of the nose. And part of that is to really, as I said, cultivate this connection with the sensing mode.
Yeah, physical sensations of breathing.
Yeah. So actually, to get into the body, we want to offer a couple more exercises for you and for anybody who's watching. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we'll do one of our favorite ones, actually. We need to be standing up for this one, if it's all right. So should we get standing up? So I'll do a couple, and then Kat will do a couple as well. Make sure you're all right.
Yeah.
See me?
My head. Okay.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's good that you bent your knees a little bit, because that takes a little bit of pressure off the low back. So it's bending the knees a little bit and sort of allows you to sink into your feet a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But we're going to bring a little bit of movement, and actually you need your hands for this one as well, but we're just going to start tapping on the tops of our heads, just tapping all around, but tuning into the sound that it makes and tapping at different areas around your head, and see if it's a different sound, or even the sensations of the tapping all around the head. Maybe there's some stinging, or it's harder in some places. And then you can bring the tapping to the forehead, the nose, and the cheekbones. And actually the jaw, you can even rub it a little bit, because it can be tense in the jaw sometimes. Chin, neck. And actually when you get to the chest, you can start to hit it a little bit. Some people like to also do voice with this, but you don't have to. So tapping, and then put one arm out and tap down the inside of it. So you're tapping, yeah, and then up the outside. And we'll go back down again the inside. We'll do it again, same hand. Back up, and one more time down. We'll clap and back up. Really good tapping coming back to the chest. And down the other arm. So down on the inside, up the outside, down, up. One more time. Up. Back to the chest. And then be careful, we're going to the stomach, but a little lighter on the stomach, especially if you've had something to eat. But you can go harder on the hips. And then actually go down one leg and back up the leg. And then down the other leg and back up. And a little lighter on the kidneys. And then finish on the butt. Okay. And then just taking a moment to ground back into your feet like you had done at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then tuning in like you did with the hands, tuning into the body. And you can lower your gaze if you want. Close your eyes if you want also, but you don't have to. And just notice what's happening in the body, that sensing mode. So maybe there's tingling or fizzing. Maybe some warmth. Maybe some parts of the body are warmer than others. Maybe even the heart rate has increased a little bit. It's really just noticing whatever's happening for you to try to just tuning into that sensing mode, strengthening that sensing mode. Okay, and if your eyes are closed, you can open them and you can sort of let go of that practice. So that's a tapping one. That's a really easy one that you can do, you know, right before you sit down and do your homework, or if you're just feeling a little stressed. It just kind of gets you out of the head a little bit and more into feeling.